We're going to devote our energies to sports and gardening, all the cultural pursuits as far as they're concerned. In fact, we're going to put the goons to sleep. Meanwhile, we dig.
Greetings and welcome to the Anadromist. This is Byrne Power coming to you from my new, largely empty flat here in Tbilisi, Georgia, in the Vaque region, district we'll call it. And this is just going to be a short video, a casual video, mostly because I've been moving, and I've been very busy moving. And there have been lots of boxes of books that have already accumulated here. This is not my real library. This is just my Georgian library, which is full of Georgian art books, puppetry books, regular art books, books on fashion, books on, anything I can find that helps me to build. I'm always thinking of my larger library, so I'm always thinking, what else do I need to get to make it feel full? And it's getting there. So, meanwhile, I've been not just busy moving, which I finally got everything here. I'm finally done with my old place. But I've had to get certain new things, which I will show you in a future video, of deliveries to things. I had to replace an oven here. I have, except for this chair, which I bought last year, I have almost no furniture. So I had to buy a bed, and I had to buy a new television screen because I didn't have one. And it's important also for looking at the videos. The larger you get, the more you know your quality is up. Not that my quality is always that great. Although thank you to Richard, you know who you are. He's sending me a new camera body to help me get rid of a few of the weird little dots that sometimes show up here. But I had to get a new couch and a new little table. I did have one table, but I needed another one. I need a closet. So one of the big pet peeves here has been waiting for deliveries to come. And I could launch into an entire description of this process. And I'll save that as a nugget for a future, for the future video where I really describe the process of moving in and finding the place and then moving in, which will be a longer video, and in fact will be in two parts. One for the nuts and bolts stuff, which will be on my Georgian crossroads, and the other for the emotional and the philosophical aspects, which will be here on the Anadromist. So I've been asked several times, so what's with, I mentioned that I have to go to Prague and that I have a book I have to work on. And people say, well, what's going on here? What's this about? So I thought what I would do is talk about my upcoming trip to Prague. And what's the book about? So, first of all, the main reason I'm going to Prague at this moment is because of the book, which I'll describe in a moment. But I'm going there to work with some people on a book. But also, I'm going to see friends. I've been to Prague how many times? 2005, 2012, 2016, 2018. So it's been 5 times already. This will be the 6th time. And, I guess that's right. And Prague is one of my favorite cities in the world. And I really love going there. And I go mostly because of puppetry. That was my initial reason for going, to see a few puppet shows. But along the way, I've met friends. I have people there I'd like to see. So that's another main reason for going, is to visit people and see friends again. And I might have a chance, we were working on setting this up now, it looks pretty good, to meet the Honest Guides, who have a great YouTube channel, Honza and Yannick. They're these guys who run around Prague. I mean, they've done like scam busting in a very serious level. And if you've ever tried to get change in Prague from one of these exchange places, you'll know how important scam busting is. And in fact, they've done a lot of good, and they've actually caused a few of the worst places to go completely out of business. But it'll be interesting to meet them. And they don't know that much about puppetry, the Loutkář, the puppets. And so I'm going to try to work it out so that we can go to a puppet show with them, that maybe they can use this information on their program. But if you're at all interested in either traveling to Europe, particularly going to the Czech Republic, going to Prague, or even how to avoid scams, because many of the scams they talk about in Europe happen in more than one city, then check out the Honest Guides. Like I said, Prague is one of my favorite cities, certainly in Europe. I would say number one is Paris still. It's hard to beat Paris. And I also have friends there, so it's not just a place where I go and, just to see the sights, but really I feel like I know the place. I think I've been there 10 times now. Also, Prague would probably be number two. Lyon in France is really underrated, and people don't go there enough. Europeans know about it, but Americans don't know anything about Lyon, and it's a really fascinating city. I also really like Palermo in Sicily, in Italy. But I'm not going to go into a top 10 list of my favorite European cities. If you want me to, let me know in the comments below, and I'll think about making a list like that of my favorite cities and why, and what to see there. This time, though, I will be exploring parts of Prague that I haven't seen before. So, and I've really explored the city. But after watching the Honest Guides and doing some other research, I have a book here. What is this? Secret Prague. Do you get that? This is a cool book that has all sorts of really bizarre... Prague is a fascinating city. It's just got so many hidden parts to it. Even just walking down the street, even just a few words here, or a little cross on the ground there, or the way the cobblestones are made here, all have these unusual meanings to them. I mean, if you're interested in symbolism, Prague is the ultimate symbolic city. I mean, it's just an incredible place to go. The more you know about it, the more fascinating it is. And of course, one of the things that makes Prague really fascinating to me is puppetry. And I look at Prague as being one of probably the central puppet place in Europe. And the puppet city, a real center for puppetry. Now what's funny is a lot of tourists go there, and there's like one tourist puppet show that people go to, Don Giovanni at the National Puppetry Marionette Theater. But most of it's there for the Czechs. It's not really there for the tourists. Having said that, anybody can go. It's visual. You should be able to follow most of it, even when it's, even when they're speaking. You can follow what's going on. There's always something to look at. So my friends, Bukti a Loutkář, Cakes and Puppets, are going to be doing a few shows while I'm there, so I'll certainly drop in on them. But also I'm looking for other shows. And one of the places that I often go when I'm there is there's a magazine called Loutkář. I don't know if I'm massacring especially the end of that is the Czech R with a little squiggle over it, and it's like, and it's really tough if you're not Czech to be able to say it properly. But it's a puppetry magazine. Essentially, it means puppeteer. And it's been around for over 100 years, oldest puppetry magazine in the world, and they take their puppetry very seriously. And it was talking with the editor of the magazine, Katja Dolenska, whom I met last time and did an interview with, and there's a video where a short excerpt of my discussion with her is in the video. But I have been working on this project for years called Gravity from Above. I have lots of material on puppetry, specifically European puppetry. And that has been my, it's a long story of how I got interested in it. You can check out my video on puppetry as antidote art, which is somewhere on the channel. And that will help you understand why I consider puppetry so important, particularly as it is a reality-based, object-based, material-based, physical medium, which to me is the opposite of all this digital stuff that just makes us go crazy. And it really does. If you live only in the digital, that's probably affecting you in some ways you aren't aware of, and you should be aware of. You should get out of the house, and you should see things like puppet shows. And puppet shows are not what we think in America, Muppets, cute little puppets. It's a lot more complex than that. Puppetry can do pretty much anything. And that's one of the reasons I love going to the Czech Republic and France and Italy and Germany and all sorts of other places. But anyway, I was talking with Katja. She wanted me to write a couple of articles about puppetry in Georgia. And there's very little written on the subject for the magazine. So the funny thing is, if you go to the Loutkář site, I'll put a link somewhere, either in the description or, look for this word. But what's funny is if you type my name in next to it, there are 2 articles that came out in the middle of last year about puppetry in Georgia. Of course, unless you read Czech, you won't be able to read them, but still, it's kind of funny to look at them. Of course, I don't speak Czech, so I'm just good. But what I did is I picked up, they only give you a sample of it. You have to pay to read the whole thing. But I copied out a sample of it and put it into the Google Translate. Yeah, and it looks like what I wrote. Not exactly, but, close enough that I said, okay, they did a good job of translating it. So I'm feeling good about that. But we were talking, now one of the things that's happened is I've taken video interviews and audio interviews with various European puppeteers and people involved with puppetry in different ways since 2005, really. And I have an interview with Jan Švankmajer, the great Czech puppet filmmaker, the Quay brothers, but I also have people like Henryk Jurkowski, the great Polish puppet historian who has since passed away. Likewise, Josef Krofta, who's so important in Czech puppetry. And I have, this is kind of a gold mine of material that I'm sitting on. And I haven't known what to do with it. I still need to cobble together the documentary, which I will do after I get my container here from Alaska. So, hopefully this year, mid to late summer. But I was talking with her, and one of the things that occurred to me is like, I'm going to make a documentary of this stuff. I'll put some video extras on, I want to make it a DVD or Blu-ray package and put some video extras of interviews because obviously in a documentary you only use a short clip, snippet of someone saying, yes, puppetry is important because, and then, but I did hours and, half hour, 2 hours. Henryk Jurkowski's like 4-hour puppetry video discussion. So this is all really valuable for people besides myself to see. And plus, I'm not exactly swimming in the lap of luxury, so it'd be nice to see a few dollars. Not that I expect to get much for this. But anyway, I was talking with her and I said, well, okay, so what I'd like to do is, I saw that they had put out a book called The Puppet and the Modern. And they did both a Czech version and an English version of this book. And this was a wonderful, massive book. And I thought, well, jeepers, if they're doing this in the Czech Republic, maybe they'd be interested in this book, since there are quite a few Czech puppeteers, among others, who are interviewed. And this would be a great book to make an actual book of the interviews, obviously edited a bit, but still, to get the real meat of it. And I was talking with her on a conference phone chat, and I basically said, now, do you know anybody who might be interested in doing such a project there? And she said, yeah, I would. And so I was like, really? Which is great, because I know her, she's a really great person, and she's all up for it. I mean, she said, let's wait until, well, this year. And I was talking to her last year, obviously, and so I'm going to discuss the actual book. So I'm going to bring my interview material. I'm going to bring photos, of which I've taken lots, and we'll go from there and see what kind of idea we come up with for the way the book should look. And I'm not expecting a great deal of financial remuneration from this, because, you know, how many people want to buy a puppetry book? Some of you do. Don't you? If you do, write yes, Byrne, I would buy your book. And it would be available in the usual sources, no doubt. But that's my main purpose, is to go and work on the book. But really, also I want to take better photos. I was looking at some of the photos I took at different times, going like, I really need to take better photos of these statues. I need better photos of the Strahov Monastery. I need to pay them a bit of money to take more photos. But truthfully, I haven't been out of Georgia since December 15th, 2018, when I first moved here. And the first year here was kind of like trying to settle in, chaotic. And that was all 2019, and then 2020 came. I was going to go somewhere. I did go to Armenia, I have to confess, at the end of, I think it was December 14th on 2019, just to see if the whole thing of going out of the country and coming back in worked. And it did. But I also already have my residence permit here, so I'm good in Georgia. But I haven't actually been out of the country, you know, all of 2020, all of 2021, and because a good chunk of 2021 was taken up with trying to find this place, which, again, I'll go into the whole story of that, and particularly I'll go into the stuff that just left me going, my head shaking on this channel, you know, whereas I'll go into the more nuts and bolts stuff, like I said, on Georgian Crossroads. But I am going to put it as part 1, part 2, so you have to go back and forth, and maybe more people will go explore my Georgian Crossroads channel. But already, you know, you have to remember, we're not out of the viral era yet. We are still in the middle of it. Things have opened up. Prague was shut down for good. And it's still not getting anywhere near the tourists that it would normally get. Oh, goody. I love that. I want to get there as soon as possible before any more of the normal tourists show up. Because the normal tourists just kind of form this cattle train from the Old Town Square over the Charles Bridge up to the castle, the Prague castle, and then back again, and then occasionally they get off a block or two. But if you go 2 blocks off, they disappear. But I want to be able to walk over the Charles Bridge with relatively few people. I do have an image, which I'll share with you right now, of what the bridge looks like normally. There's just like no way. It's just like not pleasant to walk over this bridge. But then again, I take the tram, I get around, and like I say, I'm really looking forward to exploring. But because we're still in the viral era, I've already started to experience some weirdness just in booking flights. booked an Air France flight. I'm going out of here on the 14th. I was going out on the 16th and coming back on March 6th. And I booked a flight, Air France going there, KLM coming back. And then Air France canceled because of the virus. And I'm sitting there going like, okay. Although they had one flight that day working, but the virus evidently was causing problems. So I immediately went out and booked another flight. I tried to get in touch with the people from, I went through Expedia, but I tried to get in touch with the people from Air France about canceling it, and I couldn't. So I went and booked another flight for on Pegasus Airlines out of Turkey. And so I had that working, a little less convenient. But then the Air France people said, we've rebooked your flight for 2 days earlier. And I was like, okay. And I'd already made lodging arrangements, and everything was ready. I was ready to go, so I had to kind of like run around and had to cancel the Pegasus flight. And the thing about that was like, okay, well, you have like credit for a year. And I'm going like, okay, well, maybe that'll help me get to Alaska. I don't know. Meanwhile, I will be traveling now on the 14th of February. So, but before I get out of here, I will say I am wanting to get the final, one of my goals before I leave, I have a month to go, is to get the final, I'm getting mixed up here, How We Got Here series 2020 out for all of you. And I have a lot of other stuff that I want to get, including the story about finding this place. I need to go out and take a little bit of footage today, and that should wrap it up, so we'll see how that goes. But, well, anyway, thanks for hanging in there, and thanks for your support. And if you wish to contribute at all, if you want me to have a beer on your name, there's PayPal. Since I'm going to the Czech Republic, I will have a beer or two. It is they do have wonderful Pilsner beers and other types of beers there. But also they have wonderful, duck and dumplings and red cabbage and stuff like that. As well as, whatever other food I'm going to find. Chlebičky. I'll let you wonder what that is. But if you want to support the channel, subscribing is a good thing to do. There's a PayPal link below, and you can like this. That helps the algorithms find it. I don't know. This one's a little personal for you guys, but with other videos, you can recommend them to friends or pass them on. That all helps. And I'm almost at 1,500 subscribers for this channel, which is pretty amazing. Let's say thanks now for that, because I'm not going to make a special I've just reached 1,500 video, but that's pretty close. That'll happen probably fairly soon. I will do one for 2,000 because that's nice, but after that I'll wait till 5,000. I'm getting hopeful, but you never know. One day the channel could take off, and if it does, you folks have got in early, and you're getting the more personal treatment, because that's what, of course, gets sacrificed. The more time you spend, the more people accumulate around anything. Okay. Well, I hope to see you very soon with 2020, How We Got Here, number 13. But we'll meet again, won't we? From Tbilisi, this is Byrne saying, you know what Anadromous means, swimming against the stream. Let's keep swimming against the stream, shall we?
A people without history is not redeemed from time. For history is a pattern of timeless moments.